Hey, it's Brady from Flash. We're going to be going over 3 exercises, my favorite exercises for hip impingement. I've been seeing this a lot in the clinic lately. I'm getting a lot of new evals. Hip impingement basically is kind of more of that groin pain that people experience a lot of times after running, sitting for long periods of time. A lot of people think it's more of like a hip flexor strain or a groin strain, which is possible. We do things in the clinic to diagnose if it is or isn't, and usually the hip flexor or groin soreness is usually there constantly while you're walking and stuff like that. There's really no relentless things that really make it go away too much, and it does resolve within usually about 7 to 10 days or so. But a hip flexor groin strain, hip impingement is more of that groin pain where you get from sitting long periods of time. A lot of times when you're squatting or sitting for long periods of time, that's also pretty painful. So we're going to go over 3 things that are beneficial for that. So anytime your leg is up like this or even internally rotated, so it's painful. So exercise number 1 that I really like, lay on your back, okay? Feet nice and wide. You're going to drop the knees in. You should feel a stretch in the similar spots where you feel that groin pain. If it's painful, you're going to bring your legs down a little bit. It's going to help relieve some of that. So hip angle is a big thing. Okay, if this is more aggressive up here, down here is a little bit less aggressive. Get a good stretch. If you can tolerate a position like this, wrap the one leg over on the leg that's affected. Drop down just like this, just to get a little bit more of a stretch. Come back up. I like to hold 10 seconds, 10 times, just like so, to get that hip a little bit looser in this direction. Okay, so this is exercise number 1, 10 seconds, 10 times. Exercise number 2, we're going to be stretching the hip joint capsule here in the buttock area. So you're going to get on your hands and knees just like so. You can drop your hips to the side and back to get a really good stretch in the posterior, the back of your hip joint here. You feel like a really good butt stretch. I don't want any pain in the front of the hip where you usually get painful. If it's painful, you can take that leg and you're going to turn it towards the other leg, kind of clears that hip a little bit, and do the same thing. Okay, so back and to the side. I like to do this for anywhere between 2 to 5 minutes. You can hold a position for 30 seconds to a minute at a time, or you can oscillate in and out, go in different angles here to see if you can really open up that hip joint. You can also bring this leg back, turn this leg in, same thing. If it's pinching, just externally rotate your hip a little bit more, or don't go far as deep into the stretch, because I don't want any pinching here in the front. I want a really good stretch in the back, 2 to 5 minutes. Oscillate in and out or hold it for static period of time. Exercise number 3, when the hip is a little bit more loose after those 2 things, we're going to be doing what's called squat isometric eccentrics or eccentric isometrics. Heels on roughly ½ an inch to an inch books or anything along those lines. Weightlifting plates work as well. Feet forward, maybe slightly out. We're going to go down into a nice deep squat position. What I want you to do is nice and slow. You're going to push those knees out with your hip muscles at the very bottom of the squat. You're going to hold 10 seconds. Really make those glute muscles work. 10-second holds. Back up. Slowly back down. Knees are on the outside of your toes here. Really use those butt muscles to get those muscles activated. It clears the front of your hip. And back out. 10 seconds, 10 times for those. Give those a try. If it's truly an irritated hip impingement issue, a lot of times those 3 things, you hit it constantly, can really make a big difference.